Let's get in Param Desai. He's with us. He's with Prabhudas Lilladher. Param, good to have you with us here. We're talking about hospitals, healthcare. We have the management of Narayana Health with us. This is, last week, and we asked them what's happening with this insurers versus, and that was, of course, a case of a specific insurer versus hospitals. But, we've seen this with other insurers as well, where hospitals have refused to sort of onboard, this or that insurer. It's been resolved now. I'm talking about, of course, the Association of Hospitals versus Bajaj Allianz General Insurance. How are you looking at this, Param? From a hospital's perspective, one factor which keeps coming up when we speak with investors with a slightly longer-term horizon, even those who are invested and have made money, is, they all say at some point, will there be some kind of government intervention because healthcare costs have gone too high? So let's just start there, Param.
Sure. So if you see, generally for most of the hospital listed companies, around 25 to 40% of their payer mix is coming from the insurance. Having said that, I think post-COVID, this insurance mix has gone up and largely it's been getting replaced from cash or say from government scheme. So in that extent, I think the overall volumes have gone up with the insurance mix also going up. You also pointed out the healthcare cost going up. So if you see the ARPOB, which one of the indicator which we follow in the hospital space, has been growing around 7 to 8% in the last say 2-3 years, slightly much higher. If you see that is not a function only of price increase. I think that is also a function of say average length of stay going down, robotic surgeries going down, your efficiency has been improving more digitally. Most of the companies have been going up. So that has also been aiding the ARPOB to go up. So that is not only purely a function of the price increase, in my view.
So this risk, is there a probability? Should one consider this risk at all? Over the last couple of years, this came. Stocks sold off 10-15% if you remember. But then, of course,
yes,
that realization happened that is kind of very difficult to do. So just your thoughts?
Yeah, so if you see on the regulatory side, it's very difficult to tell in terms of what, but I think clearly Supreme Court or the government had passed on a statement that the standardized pricing won't be there. And to be fair, most of the listed corporate hospitals in terms of their services, quality of services are much different, superior than some of the standalone hospitals. So to have a standardized pricing, practically it won't be possible given that the private market share in India is largely 60-65%. One needs to largely depend on the private infra setup. So I think regulate the pricing may not be the right answer. But yes, from insurance, as the insurance mix goes up, I think to that extent, I think some bit of say price rationalization can happen. But eventually, this will take some time to take place. Right now, I think hospital companies have a reasonably upper hand in terms of negotiation skills.
One thing I heard from someone I was talking to is why not, every time this debate comes up, you have all these government schemes, right? I think the flagship covers you for 5 lakh rupees. Instead of regulating everything, you increase the amount for people who are eligible under this scheme, say from 5 to 10 lakhs. Yeah. So it's a more focused kind of approach instead of going for a one-size-fit-all kind of approach. Nigel.
All right. Hi, Param. Good morning. Good to see you. Well, Piyush Goyal has co-chaired, a meeting with the diplomats in UAE. What kind of a business opportunity could it throw up for the Indian pharmaceutical sector on the whole? Do you see any kind of opportunity coming up?
Yeah, so if you see, largely the large cap guys are largely dependent on the export side. So US continues to be a key market in that extent. But if you see, non-US also has been picking up, say Europe or ROW markets. All these markets are been picking up for most of the guys. So gradually, I think it's been picking up, but it will take some time. In the near to medium term, I think US will still continue to remain a critical role in terms of scaling of the business, specifically for the large guys.
Right, got that. Param, in your coverage universe, just run us through the top ideas.
So in the hospitals, we are very positive on the entire space. We are very constructive. I think the last 3 to 4 years, the growth was largely a function of say, sweating out the existing assets. I think from the next 3 to 4 year perspective, most of these guys are doubling, say adding 50% or 100% bed capacity in the next 4 to 5 years. So that will be largely the growth driver. So we are very constructive on the hospital space, and most of we have a buy rating across the needs on that. On the pharma side, I think the Revlimid thing, there is one more quarter. I think Q3 second half of onward, I think Revlimid will go down. most of these guys are companies are investing in the complex generics, biosimilars, and say GLP opportunities. That will also play out, but unlikely to compensate the kind of Revlimid which has played for in some of the names. So in that scenario, we prefer names like Sun and Lupin in the large cap, wherein Sun is largely the play on more on the specialty pharma. Lupin don't have any exposure on the Revlimid, but they have a very interesting US pipeline. So I think even on this base, they will be able to grow. So in the large cap, we are positive on Sun and Lupin. And on the slightly on the domestic oriented names, we are positive on Torrent Pharma and Eris Life Science.
All right. Param, we leave it there. Good getting those ideas from you. Appreciate you joining us, and thank you once again for being here. Well,